Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Akila if you're new here, and today I'm going to be taking you through a flow that's going to be working a lot on core stability and balance on 2 points of contact with the floor. So we're going to be working into some two-legged dog and some half bow, some really fun stuff like that today. I'm not using any props today for class. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And we're gonna start just coming into a toe stretch. So you're gonna tuck your toes and sit back on your heels any amount that you can handle here. This is a massive stretch for the bottoms of the feet. So if you need to lean forward a little bit, that's fine. Maybe bring the fingertips to the floor and you're feeling an excellent amount of stretch right here. But if you can sit all the way back onto the heels, try your best to do so. And we're going to take the eyes to close. And just lengthening the breath in through the nose here. Exhale, keeping the lips sealed. Trying our best today to keep our inhales and exhales through the nose. And if you're finding a lot of intensity in the arches of the feet right now or the big toe joints, just ask yourself if it's something that you can manage to sit through, or if you want to lean forward a little bit, take some of the pressure off. And we'll just take 3 more breaths here. Feeling the bottoms of the feet opening up. Two more breaths. Long and controlled in through the nose. And sustained out through the nose as well. We'll take one last breath here. Exhale, really relax into the bottoms of the feet. The next inhale, eyes can blink open and you can come forward to a tabletop. Just untuck the toes and taps the tops of the feet into the floor. Giving the feet a little bit of a counter stretch here. From here, you're gonna tuck the toes, but we're not gonna sit back again, don't worry. You're gonna take the knees to a slight hover. On your inhales, you're gonna be in your hovering tabletop. And on your exhales, you're gonna take the left hand across to meet the right knee. And then back through center. Sorry, I have my rights and my lefts mixed up. The left hand to right knee. And back through the center. Right hand to left knee, nothing else changes. Shoulders stay facing the floor. Left hand comes to right knee. Back is flat. Knees just hovering an inch above the floor, back through center. We'll take one more each side. Right hand to knee. And come through the center. And left hand across to the right knee. And back through center. One more inhale here. On the exhale, take the hips up and back, coming towards your down dog. It's very early in the practice, so you may need to pedal from one foot to another, or bend a lot into the knees. The hamstrings might normally be okay to be straight in a down dog, but maybe they're not quite ready yet today.
lengthening the tailbone up and back towards the ceiling. And on your next inhale, you're going to reach the left arm back towards the right shin or right ankle. I'm so sorry. These rights and lefts really have me today. We'll come back through the center. The right hand reaches towards the left. Maybe gaze peeks under the shoulder. And come back through the center. Left hand reaches towards the right calf, shin, or ankle. Exhale, come back through the center. One more time. The right arm reaches back towards the left leg. Lots of length in the spine here. And exhale, we take it back through the center, letting the head release. Next inhale, the gaze is going to come between the hands, come up onto the balls of your feet and bend deeply into your knees. Just take a series of little steps. We're going to make our way to the top of the mat and come into a forward fold. Your inhale is going to roll you up slowly with control all the way to stand. Arms reach up overhead once you reach the top. And exhale, taking the hands through the heart and down to the sides, coming into your Tadasana. Inhale, the arms reach out and up overhead. Then exhale, we fold over the legs. Head drops towards the floor. Inhale, maybe the hands find the shins. Halfway lift. Finding length in the low back here. And exhale, fold everything down towards the floor. Bend into the knees any amount you need to plant the hands to the floor. We're going to step back, finding a plank pose. And from here, on your inhales, you're in a plank pose. And on your exhale, trying to keep everything as steady as possible, right hand taps the left shoulder. Inhale through the center. Exhale, left hand taps right shoulder. Inhaling through the center. Exhale, right hand taps. Inhale through the center. And on your exhale, the left fingertips tap the right shoulder. Inhale back to your plank. On the exhale, with control, elbows bend to lower, all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes, inhale, peels the shoulders back, gaze comes forward. Finding a little baby cobra to start for back bends. And exhale, the chest returns to the floor. We push back through a tabletop position. Tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back, finding a downward facing dog. Inhaling deeply through the nose here. And as you exhale, soften. Searching for a little bit of extra space in the backs of the legs. And the space in between the vertebrae. And on your next inhale, the gaze will come forward in between the hands, come up onto the toes, bend into the knees, and step or hop your way to your forward fold. Inhale, rebounds to find a halfway lift. Sternum shines forward towards the front of your space. And. And exhale, fold over the legs, head drops. Inhale, rolling all the way up to stand. Arms reach outwards and upwards, long over the head. And exhale, the hands come through the heart to the sides, Tadasana. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. And the exhale, you ride the wave down to your forward fold. Inhale, finding a bit of length in the spine. And exhale, bend into the knees to plant the hands. And we're going to step back, finding your plank pose again. Inhaling here. Exhale, left fingertips tap the right shoulder. Maybe the right toes lift. Inhale, come through the center. Exhale, right fingertips to the left shoulder, maybe left toes lift. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, left fingertips to right shoulder, right toes lift. Inhale, back through center. Right fingertips to left shoulder, left toes lift. Inhale through your plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, maybe this time you pull through to your upward facing dog, tops of the toes. And exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Inhaling deeply here. And exhale, settle into the down dog. Really working towards finding length in the spine. From the crown of the head to the tailbone should be as straight of a line as possible. Next inhale takes the gaze between the hands and making your way, either hopping or stepping to the front of your mat in a forward fold. The inhale takes the chest forward, finding a long spine. And the exhale lets you fall over the legs. Inhale makes your way to standing. The arms reach up. Meeting in the center, palms touch and come through the heart to the sides. Tadasana. One more inhale to reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale to fold over the legs. Inhale, chest pulls forward. And exhale, we plant the hands and step the feet back, finding a plank pose. Inhaling through the center here. Exhale, maybe you bend into the right knee, take the right knee into the chest. Left fingertips tap the right knee. Inhale through the center. Exhale, bend left knee. Tap with the right fingertips. Inhale through the center. Exhale, left fingertips tap right knee. Inhale through the center. Trying to keep everything as square as possible. Right fingertips, left knee. Inhale, find your plank. Exhale, lowering all the way down, chaturanga. Inhale, pull through for the upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Finding length in your inhale here. And exhale. Let it settle. On your next inhale, your right leg is going to come up and back, finding a three-legged dog. Option to stay here, or if you'd like to give the balance a little bit of extra test, you can just take the fingertips of the left hand to reach towards the top of your mat. So coming into this variation on a two-legged dog. And your next inhale takes you forward to your two-legged plank. So left fingertips are reaching forward, right toes are reaching back. On your exhale, bend into the right knee, thread the right leg through, come into a fallen triangle. One big inhale here. And exhale, we're gonna drop the hips to the mat and pivot towards the back left corner of your mat and come down into a straddle forward fold for just a moment. Inhales are to lengthen the spine forward. And exhale, maybe you can find a little more fold. On your next breath in, you're gonna come back the way you came. So planting the inside edge of the left foot, right hand plants, lift the hips, finding your fallen triangle. And on your exhale, you're gonna come through your plank, right knee is still pulled in, flip to the outer edge of the left foot, and maybe the right toes drop behind you for a wild thing. Hips lift up, chest opens towards the sky. Inhaling here. And exhale, we come through the plank. We're gonna lower down on your exhale, finding chaturanga. Inhale pulls you through to your upward facing dog. And your exhale takes you up and back, downward facing dog. And we'll just take a few breaths here in your downward facing dog. Coaxing the heels towards the floor. Maybe you take a little ripple in the spine. So you can really feel the articulation of the spine. Sending that tailbone up and back towards the ceiling. And we'll take one more breath here before we take that to the second side. So on your next inhale, your left leg comes up and back, three-legged dog. This is a perfectly good variation to stay in and work with. Or if you'd like, to lift the right palm from the floor, maybe reach the right fingertips forward towards the top of your mat. Inhaling here. Exhale, settle. Reaching the left toes really intentionally up and back towards the ceiling is going to help with this pose, make it easier. On the next inhale, maybe come forward to your two-legged plank. At any point, you can put the hands or the feet back down. And on your exhale, you're gonna thread that left leg through, finding your fallen triangle. Lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Right arm reaches up, fingers spread. And on your exhale, we're gonna drop the hips, reposition yourself to face the back right edge of the mat and come forward into your straddle fold. You can try to keep a flat back here, or you can round into the spine and just relax forward. Whatever you're feeling like today. And we'll just take one more breath here. And
next inhale you take, you'll walk yourself back upright. Inside edge of the right foot to the floor, left hand plants, and we lift back up through our fallen triangle. The left knee bends to come into that plank with the left knee into the chest, and maybe roll to the outer edge of the right foot, dropping the left foot behind, coming into your wild thing. Inhaling deeply here. And exhale, we come through the plank with control. Exhale lowers you down, finding your chaturanga. Inhale pulls you through to the upward facing dog. The exhale takes the hips up and back. Down dog. And we're just going to take that sequence and we're going to build on it. Elevate it just a little bit. So on your next inhale, your right leg is going to come up and back, finding your three-legged dog. And then we bend into the knee and open up the hip any amount. And if you'd like to try, you can take the left hand back by the side, and maybe the left hand meets the right foot. One more breath here. Exhale, we're gonna release and come forward through that two-legged plank. Very challenging. And on the exhale, we're gonna thread through, finding that fallen triangle option this time to hover the right foot. If you have the hover and you still want a little bit more to play with, you can take the left hand to the outer edge of the right foot. You can try and pull that right leg up and over. One more breath here. On the exhale, we're going to come through that plank and move to the outer edge of the left foot. Maybe taking that right leg behind you, finding your wild thing. For some reason, I cannot speak today. I'm so sorry. I don't know my rights from my lefts. I don't know my warriors from my wild things. On the next exhale, you're going to take that leg with control, the right leg. Right knee comes into the right shoulder. Plant the foot outside of the right hand. We're going to windmill open, finding a warrior two. So the left foot comes parallel to the back edge of the mat. Right knees track over the right toes. Arms reach out wide in both directions. Inhaling deeply here. And on the exhale, you're going to come forward, finding your half moon pose. So fingertips can come to the floor. If you have a block handy, you can always use it here. You can also bring the fingertips to the right shin. Inhaling deeply here, energy through the left toes. On your exhale, bend into your right leg, coming back through your warrior two. Then we're going to straighten into the right knee, bend into the left knee, coming into Skandasana at the back of the mat. Inhaling wide across the chest here. And then exhale, we're going to take it to a low lunge at the back of the mat, flipping up the right heel. And we'll just step the left foot to the back of the mat, downward facing dog. And we'll take an inhale to ripple forward, finding your plank pose.
On the exhale, lower through chaturanga. Hover. Inhale, pulling the chest through, upward facing dog. And exhale, pressing into the hands to lift the hips, downward facing dog. Really finding length in the breath here. And as we meet these really challenging poses, I know it can be tempting to hold your breath. Try your very best not to do that. Try your very best to maintain the breath. And on your next inhale, you'll take the left leg up and back for three-legged dog. Bending into the knee and opening the hip. Gaze can come forward between the hands, and if you'd like to experiment with taking the right hand to the side, maybe the right hand meets the left foot. And we'll take one more breath here. As you exhale, releasing the hand from the foot if you have it, reaching the right arm forward, left leg back, and come forward into your two-legged plank. Inhaling here. Exhale, bend into the left leg, take it through. Option for triangle, fallen triangle, or you can have that hovering fallen triangle. Left leg is lifted. If you'd like to add on more, maybe the right arm reaches for the left foot and pulls the left foot up. Finding this variation on your side plank. One more deep breath in. And the exhale, we're gonna bend into the left knee, come through the plank, come to the outer edge of the right foot so that the left toes can drop behind you, finding your wild thing. Hips reach up towards the ceiling. And we'll take one more breath here. And on the exhale, coming through the plank, left knee comes to left shoulder. Finding a lizard lunge for a moment. We're gonna pivot that back foot open, windmill the arms up and open, finding your warrior two. As you inhale, feel the lungs expand, rib cage widen. And on your exhale, taking the weight diligently into your left foot, so you can take the weight forward, finding your half moon pose. Again, if you prefer to have a block here to bring the floor a little bit closer, you may do that. Maybe the hand comes to the shin, testing the balance even further. One more breath in here. And exhale, we bend into the left knee. Coming through our warrior two, arms reach wide. Straightening into the left leg, readjusting the right foot to bend into the right knee, finding your skandasana. Inhaling here before we pivot to the front edge of the mat. Plant the hands and step the right foot back, finding your downward facing dog. Next inhale ripples you forward through, finding a plank pose. Exhale, lower down through chaturanga. Inhale, pulling through, finding your upward facing dog. And exhale, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. We're just going to take the knees to tap to the floor. Set the hips back.
You can either sit up onto the shins or you can come to a child's pose. But we're just gonna take a moment here, taking the eyes to close. And just finding a brief moment of rest before we come into our last few poses. Just slowing down the heart rate here. Really noticing how it feels to truly lengthen the breath. It's so easy when you're trying hard to balance, to hold the breath, because we really just, once we find that balance point, we have this fear that if anything moves, then the whole thing's just going to topple over. So it's a very normal response to try to hold the breath when we're working into these really challenging postures on the balance. And it's just a journey of trying to learn to trust yourself and just believing that you are a little bit stronger in those balances than you think you are. So whenever you do a practice, just keep that in mind, that you can be fluid within those balancing postures and still maintain the strength and maintain the balance. Because a lot of people think that people who are really good at holding balances are just really good at standing still, and that's not really the case. They're just very observant when it comes to those minor fluctuations, when we breathe, when we wobble. It's paying really close attention to those subtle movements so that we can readjust and be flexible as we need to. And the next time you breathe in, you can gently blink the eyes open and come forward into a tabletop position. Wrists are coming under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And on the inhale, you're gonna reach the right toes back and reach the left arm forward. Inhaling deeply here. And on the exhale, taking the left elbow to the right knee. Hug everything in towards the midline, round the back. Inhale, extend the arm and the leg forward and back. And on the exhale, you're gonna swim the left arm back, bend into the right knee, and maybe the hand can meet the foot for a half bow. And if you found the half bow, grabbing the top of the foot, kick into the foot, pull the chest forward. Try and keep the ribs square towards the floor. And take one more breath in here. And on the exhale, release, finding your way back through your tabletop. Next inhale sends the right arm forward and the left arm back. One long line of energy all the way from the fingertips to the toes. And the exhale brings the right elbow into the left knee, curl the spine in. The inhale reaches out long again. And the exhale swims the right arm back, maybe bend into the left leg. Maybe the hand and the foot meet. And if they do, then we kick into the foot. pulling the chest forward. One more breath here, finding the fluidity and the balance. And exhale, we let it release, finding your tabletop. We're gonna tuck into the toes, straighten into the knees, finding your plank pose. And we're gonna exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. We're gonna release the arms by the sides. Forehead comes to the mat. And on your next inhale, you're gonna roll the shoulders back. Lift the palms from the floor. Maybe lift the legs as well. And maybe if you'd like to add on, bend into both knees at the same time. And see if you can find the outer edge of the arch with the hands. And if you do, we'll push all the way up into our full bow. Kick into the legs. Chest reaches open. Gaze comes in front of you. We really want to make sure that the knees are not flaring out too much here. You want to try and keep the legs parallel. One more breath here. And on the exhale, we release everything to the floor carefully, mindfully. Forehead comes to the floor. On your next inhale, your right arm's going to reach directly out to the side, like a T. You're going to bend into the left knee, and then you're going to drop the hips over to the right. Left foot comes behind the right thigh. Coming into this twist with the pec stretch. If you're finding the pec stretch a little bit too intense, you can change the angle of the arm, the right arm that's extended. If you lower the hand further towards the hips, it makes the stretch a little bit less intense on the pecs. Just letting the left knee fall open here. Relaxing into the front of that right shoulder. Seeing if you can find a little bit of extra space. And then we'll take it through the center. Gently and carefully bring the right hand in under the right shoulder. Left arm extends out to a T. Right leg bends so we can come to the left side of the body. Right foot plants somewhere behind the left leg. Left ear can rest towards the mat. We'll just take a couple more breaths here. Finding a little more space across the front of the chest. Letting the hips melt towards the floor. next inhale is going to take you back through the center. And from here, you can just roll your way onto your back. Taking your time here. And we're going to come into any final rest that you'd like to. So you can take the legs long for a traditional Shavasana. You can take the soles of the feet together, knees wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. You can take the feet to the edges of the mat, knees knock in for a constructive rest. Child's pose or a seated meditation. And just choosing to finish out your practice in whatever way calls to you. And I'll just leave you here in silence for a couple minutes. And when it's time to close out the practice, I will let you know. starting to notice your breath again here. Take some gentle movements into the extremities, the fingers and the toes. And maybe the knees hug into the chest. And maybe the head shakes no. Massaging your head along the floor. And you can take yourself through a fetal position, moving to the side. Keeping the eyes closed with me, we're going to come to find any comfortable seat you'd like. You can come seated on the shins or cross-legged. And once you've arrived in your comfortable seat, we'll inhale together deeply through the nose for 3, 2, 1. Take a little hold at the top of the breath. And we'll exhale together for 3, 2, 1. Emptying the lungs and blinking the eyes open. Thank you so much for taking this class with me today and for having patience for my left and right confusion. If you liked this class, please give it a like, leave a comment below, let me know if you enjoyed it, and I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my classes. It really does help a lot. So I hope to practice with you again soon, and thank you so much.